Hello there, and thank you for waking up with Wesley. I'm Senior Meteorologist Wesley Williams. Take a look at that beautiful sunrise time lapse this morning, y'all. It was an earlier sunrise thanks to the time change. Just a breathtaking view on the Mississippi coast. So as you get used to this time change, right, it's going to be a little bit of a different vibe. The sunrise was at 6:12, the sunset at 5:06. So that's going to make our mornings brighter, but it also makes the evenings darker. So don't be caught off guard by that for your Monday drive, as you might take some time to get adjusted to those changes. So yeah, your day began with an earlier sunrise, but it also started off kind of chilly. If you haven't stepped out the door yet this morning, you might want a sweater or jacket. Let's take a look at those temperature numbers. So a lot of 40s during the current hour as we switch from 7 in the morning to 8 in the morning. And I got to tell you, by the time we get to 9 in the morning, still looking cool enough for a sweater or a jacket. Temperatures into the 50s. So what's the best we can do today on that thermometer, you ask? And the answer is basically right there. You're looking at a high around 70 this afternoon, which is below normal for this time of year. So might not be as mild or as warm as you might expect. Yeah, no, bummer, right? But at least there'll be a lot of sunshine. So that is one thing that might help this afternoon. And if we fast forward to this evening, remember, earlier sunset, that means after 4:30, the sky is already going to start to get a little bit darker. And then the sun will set during the 5 o'clock hour. So that by the time you're in the 6 o'clock hour, it's basically pitch black out there. So that's why these temperatures are going to fall quickly. With no more sunlight, 6 o'clock will be back into the 50s. And then overnight, that's how we get all the way back to the chilly 40s and a few cold upper 30s when you wake up Tuesday morning. So tomorrow morning, probably just about as cold as it was this morning. Why is it so cold? Well, the pattern has the answer. So there's a cool front that passed through over the weekend. And now that front and that low are off to our east. And then we have a high pressure off to our west. And the circulation around the high, the clockwise circulation, is what's helping to pull down some cooler north wind. And that's helping to cool things off for us. This pattern will change later this week. And I'll talk about that in a moment. But first, let's get you through your day here. A delightfully dry day. Temperature close to 70 in the afternoon. Crisp lower humidity. Plenty of beautiful sunshine. It's a beauty of a day, as long as you are dressed appropriately for it, because it could be a little on the cool side for some of y'all. All right, there's tonight. Drop into the 40s again with some upper 30s. We showed you this on the map a moment ago. So it is going to be quite chilly. You know, maybe some of you have already done it. Made the switch from air conditioner to heater. If you've done it, raise your hand. Not me. My hands are not raised. My air conditioner is still going strong at home. It's going to take more than this. Maybe some 20s, maybe some freezing temperatures. But not chilly enough for me, but I'm sure some of y'all made that switch. Speaking of switch, our pattern's going to switch. We got it later this week. Look at this. Where's the high? Is it still west of us? It moved. Now it's going to be east of us. And that, my friends, is how we get the Gulf wind to come around the clockwise circulation. That wind from the south, that's what helps us turn milder. So look at the temperatures. They're going to trend into the middle and upper 70s. And later this week, it will be a little bit closer to normal. You know, it's normal for us to have middle 70s in the afternoon. So if you're not a fan of it being this cool, Just wait till later this week and you'll see the temperatures slightly trend upwards. Now these numbers you look at here are mainly on the coast. So a place like Ocean Springs on Thursday, 76. But for the inland areas, y'all might be a touch warmer. A place like Wiggins might come close to 79 or 80 on Thursday. So it will get hotter, or warmer at least, later this week. What about rain? Are we going to see any rain? We are in a drought. It will be nice to get some rain, but not in the cards. Not for us, not for early November. It's a dry pattern that's setting up. With a ridge of high pressure nearby, it's hard to get much rain here. So that's why your 7-day forecast really doesn't show much in the way of rain chance. So if you're looking for rain, you might not want to get your hopes up too much as we go into the next 7 days. The chances are pretty low. Toward the weekend, they're not zero, but even then, not a huge chance, only about 10–20%. And of course, we'll make adjustments to those numbers as we get closer to them. Well, that'll pretty much do it for this edition of Waking Up with Wesley. I've been Senior Meteorologist Wesley Williams. See you again next time.